How's it going, guys? Jacob Tuwiner here, talking about the perfect elevator pitch, specifically for cold calling. Why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, I've brought in over 1 million sales with cold outreach. I've taken complete strangers and gotten them to buy $50, $100, $150,000 deals with cold emails, cold calls, all the way through the sales cycle to close. And now I want to share with you what I've learned along the way. Before I get started, if you want my free prospecting training, which actually has a big impact on your elevator pitch, click the link in the description of this video. It'll take you to this landing page. All you have to do is put in your name and your email, and you can get my updated prospecting training. This is 2.0 version. This is pain-based prospecting. This is going to teach you how to generate leads that already have the pain in mind, so that when you give your elevator pitch and you actually deliver the elevator pitch, it resonates with the prospect, right? If you don't build a good list, if you don't target properly, your elevator pitch won't work because you're not targeting the right people. And this is a problem people always have because they overlook the importance of targeting and list building, right? What can I say? What's the best sales pitch? No. It's like, no, dude, you got to target the right person first. If they don't have the problem, no matter how good your elevator pitch is, it won't work. So this free training I just showed you will teach you how to step-by-step build laser-targeted lead lists. And if you get the training, you'll get a coupon code and early access to my paid course, which is not out yet right now, but it teaches you how to automate this pain-based prospecting system. A big problem people have is they either buy a giant list and blast out and no one responds, or they say unsubscribe, whatever, or they take way too much time doing a manual prospecting that's very targeted, but it's very hard to get outreach at scale when you're doing manual list building. So I've created softwares that help automate some of the targeted list building process. That way you can actually build super targeted outbound lists in less time. That's in the paid course. The free one, though, either way, I'd recommend you start free. And I recommend you start with manual list building so that you know what to look for, and this will help you come up with the better elevator pitch anyway. So the elevator pitch, I'm going to go through once you have a good lead list what to say. But in this video, we're going to talk about the elevator pitch. It starts with the list though, so grab the free training down below. Okay, so once you have your targeted lead list, right, the training walks you through how to identify the pain that your prospect has. It walks you through how to articulate that pain in a one-sentence case study, how to identify prospects that have a similar pain, and build a list of those prospects. So now when you reach out, you know that they have the problem that you solve. I'm going to give an example of the very first cold calling job that I ever had when I was just a young man. Just kidding, this was like 2 years ago. I actually had never cold called before. I was primarily cold email, and I closed a deal with a guy who's still a friend of mine today, who he wanted cold callers to cold call in Chicago to sell drug screens and physicals to trucking companies, because the Department of Transportation, basically they require you to be healthy and not on drugs to drive 18-wheelers. Surprise. And he had a special clinic that would sell this service to truckers. So he wanted someone to cold call in the area and get people to come into the. So we did the deal, hired a cold caller. 1 week in, he quits, and then the next week, second guy quits. And so my name's on the line here. I got a referral from a colleague who sent me this guy. So both of them are counting on me to deliver, and so far nothing had worked. So I decided I was going to take on the client myself. I stopped selling as much and I focused on fulfillment of this client. I didn't know anything about sales. I didn't know anything about cold calling. Well, I knew something about sales, but I didn't know anything about cold calling. I knew nothing about the area he was in. I'd never been to Chicago or Indiana. I know nothing about medical services or any of this stuff. But I just decided, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. And that's the attitude you have to have. And I talk about that in my training, so grab it down below. But anyway, I picked up the phone. I started calling. Nothing worked. It wasn't until I learned this elevator pitch strategy that I was able to book a lot of meetings, and it actually worked out very well. Talk about that more in the paid course. Here's what you do. Here's the meat and potatoes. This is what I learned. So essentially, your prospects, when they're cold prospects, they don't know who you are. They're not in the market. They might not even know that your solution exists. So when you call them, they're going to say not interested, because they're not solution aware. They're not in the market for a special clinic. They don't even realize that there is a special clinic. But they do know in the back of their head that they have a problem with long wait times. Why? Because what they were doing before this was sending their truckers to urgent cares and general health clinics in the area, which are not specialized for drug screens and physicals, which means they had long wait times. The truckers would go in, it was expensive, and they would have to wait hours sometimes in the waiting room before they could just go and pee in a cup for 5 minutes and then leave. So HFit was cheaper, and they had 0 wait times guaranteed. You walk in, you walk out in like a few minutes, and you're done. So that was a big value prop. So once I understood the problem that my customers had, right, I was able to articulate that value prop to them. In the free training, you can see that I give you a template to actually build your lead list, and I walk you through over the shoulder live list building and contact prospecting. But it all starts with understanding your case study and the problem you're solving. I use a different example than the one I'm using now, but you can, for your own business, use my template here to figure out what your problem that you're solving is. But once you understand the problem, the elevator pitch becomes relatively simple. I would cold call them, and when I got the guy on the phone, I would say, hey, the reason I'm calling you is HFit Occupational Health does drug screens and physicals for drivers with 0 wait times, so they can get in, get out, and get back to work within minutes. Just curious, how are you currently handling drug screens and physicals for drivers? So the value prop, the elevator pitch was 10 seconds long, and it addressed the pain point with a solution. So the solution itself was 0 wait times, but I'm, I guess, between the lines poking at the long wait times that I know that they deal with. So that's why the value prop resonates with the pain. And then I ask them, how are you currently handling it right now? So that gets them thinking about their future state. And when they're thinking about the future state, now they go, urgent care. They would probably say, yeah, we're good. Urgent care, we're fine. So that's an initial brush off objection. And I teach you in my paid course on cold outreach how to get past that objection and actually book the meeting in detail. For now, what you do is, instead of saying, oh, but we have da-da-da, no, you go, oh, it sounds like you already have this taken care of. And they say, yeah, we do, thanks, that's right. And you go, awesome. Just curious, where do you send them right now? They go, urgent care. Oh, awesome, yeah, I go there all the time. Curious, what's the wait time for drivers when they're in urgent care? A few hours. Interesting. Yeah, HFit has 0 wait time, so you can get right back out. You see what I'm doing? I'm letting them give me an objection. I'm letting them say it. I'm listening to them. I'm acknowledging it, and then I'm going deeper into the pain. I understand you have one already, but how long do they wait? How much does that cost you when your drivers aren't on the road, etc., etc., etc. So the elevator pitch starts with understanding the problem, and then you articulate the reason for the call and the question, how are you currently handling this right now? You articulate that within about 15 seconds and you're in. I have a full explanation. I can't give you all the information right now in this video, otherwise it'd be 10 hours long. That's what my course is all about, Cold Outreach Mastery. If you grab the free training, Cold Outreach Mastery is not out yet, but if you grab the free training in the description down below, then you'll have a discount code when I launch the course, and that way you can get access to it cheap. I highly recommend that you grab the free training either way, because the course does depend on you taking this class and understanding how to build a good lead list. You can't have a good elevator pitch without a good prospect list, and this course teaches you how to build a list that's based on pain. You can see here we talk about pain-based prospecting strategy, like high level, and then I actually go through and build a list with you and teach you everything you need to know about pain-based prospecting. So highly recommend you grab the course. Again, link in the description. Until next time, I'll catch you later.